Welcome to the Disney Hour Express podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Rob. We are two hopelessly romantic Disney enthusiasts.
Sharing fun stories, secret tips, and family travel experiences.
If you are a Disney newbie, or maybe a season pass holder, we hope you find this information helpful.
We turned our love of Disney into a unique boutique travel agency that books Disney and Universal vacations.
We've got a lot of stories, so cozy on up, choose your favorite drink,
whether that be a cocktail or a hot chocolate,
and enjoy the Disney Hour Express.
Hey, welcome to episode 79 of the Disney Hour Express. We're happy to have you here, Potineers, and my co-host Rob over here.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here?
I think I'm here. We're sitting fireside.
Yes, we are. Outdoors, of course.
Outdoors, not in Disney, unfortunately. Wah,
wah.
But this is, we're here to kind of introduce our part 3 of our 2024 Disney family trip.
Yes.
I believe, as
so,
things are called.
At this point of being home, it's been a few weeks now. This is when I start to really miss it, and I'm ready to go back. When I first come back, I'm just okay, I need a break. Oh my gosh, I need to decompress. But now I start to get really okay, so the next trip, I'm planning in my mind what we can do different and all sorts of things. So it's I start to get ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready for around, I don't know, 40? How many times have I gone to Disney?
It's time to get ready. It's always time to get ready for the next one, right?
It is.
And you always see the memes of people looking at different, as soon as they start leaving their last park, they start planning the next one. And it felt different. I think the first time we went together as a family, you were already starting to plan
on there
our trip as we were leaving. I think
that trip was just so good. It was so good. There were so many good things about that trip that I just I think I cried on the way home, which I don't normally do. I was just really sad.
Look, let's not kid them. When you realize you're going home with me, you cry because you're I have to deal with this guy for all this time.
No. We just had such a good time, and we always do, but there's certain elements of that trip that I think just brought it all together for me, that I was wow, I have this guy and he loves Disney as much as I do, and he likes all these things, and he shows me new things in the Disney atmosphere that I didn't even know were relevant. But it also reminds me of how I even became a travel specialist for Disney. It was because I went on a trip and I was man, this is so cool, but people obviously need some tips and guidance on how to do this. And it was I had taken the morning at Disney, and it was the afternoon where you do the pool thing, and I was just sitting there drying off, and I'm searching, how do you become a Disney travel agent, and that's where it all started. It was just while I was on a trip, and I just think about that a lot.
Get out of the dirty water, Molly.
It's not Orlando today, it's Molly.
Don't drink the dirty water.
In any case, here we are.
So here we are. We had a couple of housekeeping things.
Yes.
First off, I would like to apologize about last episode's audio.
It was rough to listen to. I hope that you guys all had a really good nap listening to last episode.
Or you just skipped it and kind of went on. And we apologize. Obviously, Abby was extremely sick.
Yes.
When we recorded our in-park part of it.
But I was trying to tough it out. It was my birthday on that day that we were recording, and I wanted to pretend everything was great.
But it was a long birthday, and being sick, it was too much. And then we were both kind of in hushed tones because we decided to do it inside.
Yes.
So that the audio, we tried to make it work as best we could. It didn't sound great. I wasn't happy with it.
Yes.
We almost last minute, we're should we just
re-record it? We thought about it.
And we're ugh, we don't have enough time right now, and it's going to delay. So it's out there.
It is.
You kind of understand.
Take it for what you want.
I think it's a good experience because sometimes you get home and you're done.
You're dead.
And the parents
That's
are
pretty
just
much it.
what just happened? Like, I know I had a great time, but I don't know what happened today.
Yeah. But in any case, I mean, I'm sure our listeners understand. They know that we play hard and work hard. So, and if you didn't, now you know.
Oh boy, I don't.
You don't like that phrase?
I don't prescribe to that.
Got it.
But
anyways,
I'm here to do things hard.
We're gonna.
One of the other things, though, just before we kick into it, right?
Right, before we kick into our Animal Kingdom day.
Yeah, this is our day in Animal Kingdom.
Right, but we're gonna talk about the new pass system that's coming out.
Yeah, so this is the new Lightning Lane system, is what they're referring to it as. We're trying to make it a little less complicated, even though it's going to seem complicated at first.
Right. And I have to say, I do have some clients that are going that have never experienced Genie Plus, so this is all new to them.
Have they experienced FastPass?
Yes, they did experience FastPass.
This is more similar to FastPass.
But it is still a paid FastPass. But yes, it's similar to FastPass in the way where you can pre-pick your 3 rides.
If you're getting it.
It's a purchased program, so you do need to purchase.
For those of us that are familiar with Genie Plus, it's similar in that sense.
Yes. So it would be through your My Disney Experience app that pretty much everybody needs to have now. If you're going to the park, this is where you can have your digital pass on there, or, it's going to have your whole day plans. So please don't go to the park without the app.
And so this is something, obviously, we talked about it on our packing episode.
Yes.
When we were packing for our trip, we went over it kind of in somewhat detail. We listed the parks. I'm not going to list like the rides because there's like group rides and stuff. I'm not going to list those again.
Yes.
It was back then.
And he means by group rides as in the rides are tiered. You can pick from tier 1 or group 1, and you can pick from tier 1 or group 2. But there's a certain amount that you can pick from each.
Before we get into that,
my gosh, she's already stopping me.
She's already in the weeds. She's diving right into the weeds.
You need to know. They need to know.
Start walking in them. She's just jumping right in. So there's, again, just for as a quick sum up, there's Lightning Lane Single Pass and there's Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. Lightning Lane Single Pass is very similar to what we call individual Lightning Lanes right now.
Right. So that's just one ride, one time.
You're paying a certain price to go on one specific ride. That it's not every ride is eligible for this. It's like only certain rides, and they're usually the most popular rides.
Yes.
Fall under this cloud, this umbrella, and you purchase it. You can purchase it in advance, and you just choose this one ride, and that's it. You can't use it again.
Right.
It's just for that one specific ride.
Yep.
There's also Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, and that's the one that more people are. Stop drinking that dirty water. What are you doing, girl?
Come on, buddy.
We're talking about multi-passes here, Molly. Come on, multi-passes. You can purchase that in advance, and that allows you to pick up to 3 rides at a time. You can pick one ride in this group 1. There's a certain set of rides that are only available in group 1, and then there's more rides. The rest of the rides are in group 2. You're allowed to, in advance, choose one ride in group 1, and then you could choose 2 or all 3 out of group 2. Now, all these in advance purchases, you could purchase in advance. You could make your selections if you're staying at a Disney resort, and you could see the list of resorts. It does include like Shades of Green and things like that. But you could do it 7 days in advance.
7 days.
7 days in advance. So that's when you're able to make your if you're in the resorts,
if you're staying in the resorts,
you could pitch 7 days in advance of when your park when your stay starts, right?
Yes.
If you're not staying in a resort, if you're an annual pass holder, if you just have theme park tickets and you're staying off site, you could do it 3 days in advance.
Yes.
So obviously you're going to have less choice because other people are going to be booking these rides because they're all subject to availability. Right. Sometimes there's not going to be, I haven't seen it in advance on Genie Plus, but there's times when you're there during the day, there's just no more Genie Pluses available. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's going to also happen.
Talking about President's Day weekend, that's a big deal.
I remember that Fast Pass was a big deal too, that if back in the day, if you didn't book it if you weren't staying at a Disney resort, 60 days in advance, like they were
gone,
taking everything. Yeah. And then when you got to your 30 days in advance, if you were staying off site, there wasn't much. There were slim pickings to pick. But going back to the multi-pass, once you pick your 3 rides, you get to Disney on that day, whatever your selected theme park is. You go there. Once you make once you go in, you tap in with your Magic Band, your ticket, whatever, your card that you're scanning into. Once you tap in, you're then allowed to make an additional Lightning Lane purchase or Lightning Lane selection.
Yes.
Now, that can be if you're doing a park hopper. That's at that same time when you have to choose your first 3 rides in the same park.
That's right. So, like, even if you're park hopping from, like, Magic Kingdom to Epcot, your rides, if you're going to Magic Kingdom first, you can only pick 3 rides at Magic Kingdom.
Once you tap into your first ride at Magic Kingdom, you're able to make a selection at any other park.
Right. So, very cool.
Yeah. And if you're only staying at that one park, that's when you're able to make your next selection. And that next selection could be from either one of the groups.
Yep.
It's not only like from 2 or it doesn't matter. It could be from group 1 or 2. Yeah. Our dogs are fighting. Lando's yapping because he likes picking. He likes the ability to be able to pick from any group. He appreciates that. And I think that's for the most part about it. I mean, that's really an advance.
That's like
I don't know what's going to happen.
Rundown.
I don't know what's going to happen. So it's starting this Wednesday.
Yes.
That's when the program is starting. Now, the people that are going to the parks on this Wednesday are, as far as I know, they're not having the 7-day.
They are not. No.
So I think everyone's just going to have to rush.
And they released a statement about that.
They're going to have to rush and purchase it on Wednesday and make your selections that morning. So it's going to be like a Genie Plus type morning where you're rushing.
It is, unfortunately.
But... Okay, and then obviously people that are a week later can start making it, and then everything will fall into line after that.
Well, I'm so excited because our travel specialists, we have a whole handful that are going down next weekend, and they're going to be able to experience this. And we are sending them on a Magic Kingdom fireworks cruise. Woo-hoo. So we're so excited to be able to do that for our specialists going down there, and they will have full reports to us about how this system works.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to report back on how it is because I'm going down
You're
too,
going
right?
because you wanted to go on the cruise, right? He's
going?
giving me those faces. I'm sorry, baby. You stuck here with me.
I wouldn't say stuck. But I'm here with you. You're right. Yeah. I can't do that. I couldn't go to like Mickey's Not So Scary without you.
Hey now.
Oh, well. I'll report back on that one as it comes time for that. But all right, I think we've talked enough. There was nothing other like major news or anything that we needed to cover as far as I know. Country Bear Jamborees back scaring people again. All those crazy things. Tiana's blah 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 blah.
Heat wave.
So this is our Animal Kingdom Day. That's coming up, day 3, like we said. It's an interesting day. It's a day after a very long day.
Yes.
So it was kind of the pace slowed down for us.
It did.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
It did a little bit.
Yep.
But I think it was much needed. And obviously it's a shorter day because the park only stays open until 6 p.m.
Yeah, and that's always hard.
To me, it seems like it just keeps getting shorter. Like it used to, I thought it was 8 at one time, then it's 7,
because
and now it's 6.
Well, and it's like it doesn't open up any earlier. It's like 9 or something, like 8:30 early entry. So it does seem like a really short day, and I really do feel like we only got to do things once, right? And it wasn't like we were rushed, but like we didn't take any time. We didn't have any time to take, I should say, to be like, let's take more pictures in Pandora, or let's, watch the bird show, or let's go to Rafiki's Planet Watch.
We're spoiling things for them because now they're going to know. We could talk a little more about this afterwards. After you listen to us ramble on for,
I think it's like guys? Do you like 50, how he just tells me 55 minutes?
I'm kind of like the conductor of this train at the moment. I'm kind of moving along, and Abby's just...
I just like to talk around in circles. That's what I like to do.
She sharing our emotions with you.
Anyways, I hope you enjoy our Animal Kingdom episode. Again, we love to hear from our listeners, so give us a shout out and enjoy the episode. It is July 4th today, and there are fireworks going off everywhere, but more importantly...
You say 4th of July Day, you said?
Didn't I say that? It's the 4th of July, the July 4th day. Independence Day. Anyways.
It is the time we take it back. It is
from
Thursday.
The aliens.
Exactly. You ready to go into the speech?
No.
And this is our Independence Day. It's July 4th. We are here on a balcony of our hotel room.
Yes.
After a short yet long Animal Kingdom day, and we decided to not go down. We were all just kind of beat and didn't want to see. Well, we wanted to see the fireworks, but we were also just like, we can't right now.
Yeah.
The kids were tired. They're like, I don't really want to go.
And we partied so hard last night at the fireworks. And by partied, I mean we danced along to the good music and saw really great fireworks.
Some of us did. I took a lot of videos.
And so they're going off all around us, so you'll hear that in the background. Yeah. And I could see them actually reflect a little bit off of the swan and dolphin over here, which is really interesting.
Very fun.
So, very cool. And the boats are beeping, and the people are
It
cheering.
feels like I'm in New York City right now. Like, it was, I think the other night when we did it was quiet. Now it's, just loud.
Well, they really go all out for July 4th.
Must be the finale.
Here's the finale.
Yeah.
How cool. So we did Animal Kingdom today. It was great.
Yeah, we were one with the animals.
Here's our one big tip is that on the 4th of July, hit up Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
The wait times were super low
they were
across
super low.
the whole park, which was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really good experience just popping on our rides and getting all things. But anyways, we started off with an experience this morning.
Yeah. We started off, before we get to the action in the park, we will just say, again, like how we tried to get there. It was a 7:30 early entry, right?
Yeah.
So it's open from 8 to 6 today, Animal Kingdom. 7:30 is early entry for resort guests. We weren't trying to make the 7:30 entry. We were just, there's no way, we're not rope dropping Animal Kingdom. We had an experience that we'll talk about in a second at 9 o'clock. So we were just like, that's all we need to get to.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. We were just trying to we wanted to be at the bus station at 8. We got there a little after 8. We had another party of friends that are with us. They were running a little bit behind as well. So we got on a bus. They got on the next bus after that. We all ended up getting through the gates at various times. One more frantic, but she did it. She's a power mom, so she got through it with 2 kids and got them all the way over to the booth across from Kilimanjaro Safaris. The standby, the entrances for that. There's a booth, and I forget exactly. It's the something tour.
Hold on, I bet you I have a picture of it.
Oh yeah,
because I was taking a whole bunch of fun pictures.
And I have it sent in here.
Let's see. Yeah, it just said really we offer tours.
It's called the Curiosity Animal Tours kiosk.
Okay, got it.
Curiosity Animal Tours kiosk, and that's where all like the specialty safaris and expeditions and everything that you could do is done through there.
So that would be the Wild Africa Track, the Starlight Safari, Animal Tours Backstage, Unique Safari with Refreshments, the Visit Tour Greenhouse, the Ride Horses, Scuba Dives, Dolphin Experiences, all those things. It's very
Dolphin
cool.
Experiences. So I was wondering about that. So the Dolphin Experiences, do they take you to the mystery dolphins that are supposed to be in Epcot?
We've never met. Yeah.
Is that but really, like, when you go through there and then meet and they drive you to Epcot? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. We should have asked those questions. We didn't think about it just because we were signing waivers and
we had to sign some waivers to go on this
And, there's certain restrictions if you are looking, if this is something, the Caring for Giants is something, which is what we did. It's the elephant backstage tour. There's, like, you can't bring any food or open cupped drink. So you could bring, like, a bottle of water, but you can't bring your coffee if it's just in, like, a regular mug. Like, they don't want that. They also, because they actually take you backstage to get to the bus that then drives you to the, where you're going. You're not allowed to take any photographs while you're backstage whatsoever. And they did this similar thing when we went on our AEP trip, and we had to take a bus in Epcot. We were loading on the bus and backstage, even though it's really like there's nothing like of interest to see.
So this backstage experience was actually a little different for me.
This was.
At the end. So I'll tell you after we talk about Caring for Giants, because it happened at the end and it was kind of interesting, and I was just trailing behind and I'm like,
Oh, really?
So I'll tell you.
Well, there were still things. It takes you back behind Tusker House.
Yes.
It takes you back behind the Festival of the Lion King. And so we get to see, like, what's happening behind there.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
There's
Big
so many fireworks.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, I wonder, it sounds like we're getting
it does.
Or something.
It really does sound like thunder, because I think the echoes of the fireworks everywhere hitting off of everything is just incredible.
But this still has to be, is this Epcot or is this... Wow. Sorry for pausing.
Oh my gosh, guys.
How intense. Wow.
Bananas. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure you guys were able to hear that. It looks like by the equalizers. Looks like you guys were able to hear that, but that was crazy.
Can you hear all the cheering?
Now they're just cheering.
Oh my gosh.
America! Yeah.
America. Okay. Caring for Giants. So you go backstage because you have to take the bus over to the elephants.
Yeah, so they drive you through, they drive you around the Kilimanjaro Safari.
Yes.
And so that takes time, and they actually have to go on like regular roads, so you have to buckle up and you have to do all this stuff.
But it was kind of cool to see, because as you're going by, even on the regular roads, you're seeing different enclosures for different animals. Yeah. Some of them actually look familiar from the show.
Okay. This was a show on Disney
Plus, which I think I don't actually recall what it's called. It's the animal.
I think he mentioned it a couple times, our tour guide, but I couldn't recall what it was anyway.
And it was like they show the rhino enclosures, and they say, oh, this one's the giraffe one, and you can tell because it's so much taller and things like that. So, and these are just like kind of where they go to get their checkups and things like that. Most of the time they're out on the safari and enjoying life.
And the
like
savannah or wherever they belong.
Savannah.
And if you can see, Abby's still dealing. She's battling something, so she's a trooper. Gosh. She made it through all day, but now
can
when
we
got
go
home,
on one vacation where I don't get sick? Is that like in our cards?
Were you sick last year? I don't remember.
I'm really talking about this year when we had the stomach virus on our last
that was
vacay, and then this one I am like sticky sick.
She was a trooper. We did our 20,000 steps, and she did them right along with us. She's still here.
Can't miss out.
Casting.
Anyways, back to the Caring for Giants. Nobody cares
so you
about
get on a
cold.
bus, and they take you over to the elephant section. One thing of note in that they pointed out on the tour, which obviously was interesting, was that the size of Kilimanjaro Safari.
Yes.
Right? So he mentioned that Kilimanjaro Safari is so big that you could fit the entirety of the Magic Kingdom in Kilimanjaro Safari and still have room for like parking.
Yeah,
so think about that. Magic Kingdom itself it seems bigger than it actually is. I forget what I don't want to like misquote and say he said the size of it in acres, how big it was. I don't remember exactly what he said, but that was an interesting fact.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So anyway, so they take you over down like a path. a gravelly path, and you get out and you park, and they have you go up like a set of steel stairs and ramps that bring you up a little bit of an incline, and you get to like this platform it has all, it's completely enclosed, so you can't go beyond where they're allowing you to go.
Right.
And it's still on the other side of like wasn't there a stream or a river or something in between there?
It was kind of more like a divot, an elephant's not necessarily going to like go into that because of the terrain.
It was like a trench or something that they had dug out. But they did say that this was something that they will use. They would do certain like trainings and stuff from there and observation. And it wasn't just for done for tours.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. It was.
We had our tour guide Patrick.
Thank you.
Was very knowledgeable and very personable.
Yep, he was really nice. He answered anything we asked him. We threw some weird questions out there.
Yeah. And because our tour got a little late, started a little late. It started like 10 minutes. We were probably like 10 minutes late. Mm-hmm. But it went to 11. It was like just before 11. He was like, all right, it's time for us, It's like, all right, we head back to the bus, but continue to ask me questions. I'll keep talking, so on and so forth. What did you, what did you take away from the tour? Like, what was your...
I guess like a couple of things that like I just noted, like we saw all male elephants, right?
Yes.
This was the male elephant area.
Yeah.
And I loved how he was just talking about the what do you call it? Like the matriarch, like not matriarch. Yeah, that would be
the patriarch.
The patriarch, yes. Which I think his name was Mac.
Yeah.
And how Mac plays with the other male elephants and how they're playing. And I guess, like I've seen elephants, on Animal Planet spar or whatever, but these elephants were definitely like playing with each other, like more so their trunks were like intertwining and they were like doing like funny, cute things, which I am so glad we saw.
It's in a way, it's similar to just like we have two dogs and they play. They're different ages, but they play, they interact. It looks like they're fighting, but they're really just playing.
They're really just playing. Yeah. And so that was really cool. I really liked how he explained there was like different types of hay that they feed the elephants. And that was neat because one of the hays actually has like, I think alfalfa sprouts in it, which makes it sweeter. And so it's like a treat for them. And then I really took away the whole concept that elephants like to pull trees up. Like it's just part of their natural
behavior.
Genetic behavior that like they're trying to make the no shade really, so that the grass will grow and then they'll have more to eat. So this is just part of their behavior.
But it's also they also taking out their aggression as well, and showing off their strength
and so on the bus ride back, like I was like laughing. I made a joke. I was like, we need an elephant because we need some trees taken down. And he's like, oh, well, they'll not only take down your trees, they'll take up all your housing pipes and your, whatever you got going on. They're going to take it on out. And so part of the whole conservation program for elephants, like they have to find how people and elephants can live together in certain communities. And so they found out that elephants are terrified of beehives. And bees. And so that's part of the conservation work that they're doing because they want obviously the people to be able to live the way they live. Yeah. And if you have, make even fake beehives, these elephants are not going to go near them. Yeah. So I was like, that's a really cool little tidbit because we did notice going up that ramp that they had some very fragrant plants right in front of the ramp that had these gigantic, like,
they were
bees.
American bumblebees.
Bumblebees.
Is what
but
he
they
said.
were so big. They were so
huge.
different looking. Like the back of their bums was more pointed than like round or anything. And I was like, that sucker is going to hurt if it
make
stings
sure
or something.
We kept the kids away.
So,
Stay away.
But I'm wondering if that was part of their barriers, because they always have more than one barrier to make sure an animal doesn't cross over, right? So they don't have fences, so they make the trunches, they make the sounds, and I'm wondering if that's why they had the bees and things out there.
Yeah, that's valid.
Anyways, that's my long-winded, nerdy.
So what you're saying is you enjoyed it.
I loved it. And this was a surprise for me, a surprise gift that Rob had set up, and it was so cool. It was really cool. I enjoyed watching them interact. I enjoyed seeing their ears flop and their activities today.
All spraying themselves down with the water from the...
Yeah, I feel like we saw it all. We saw them pick up their feet. We saw them, do the water and the mud all over.
Yeah, it was good just being out there for like 45 minutes or so, just watching them, interact with each other and then listen to all the facts.
Yeah. We learned about how they even test their blood. They test their cortisol through their poop and things like that, which is really important because you want to know if you have a happy elephant. Not necessarily happy, but like if their cortisol levels are really, really low, your elephant's depressed and bored, and you need to make sure that you're making a better environment for them.
And I also held the piece of elephant poop.
You sure did.
Yeah, the tour guide, Patrick, pulled it out and like from his bag, and I guess it's something that they show, obviously part of the elephant poop, but it's like covered. I forget exactly. He's like, it's not dirty or anything. It's like covered in like
something.
But still, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's to think about. I was like, oh.
Anyway, so now I want to hear about what was this thing that you saw. Now.
Oh, okay. So then. Anyways, so if you want to do something like caring for giants, you really should. If you have an hour of time to dedicate to this, my understanding is it wasn't super crazy on the expense side, but maybe it was.
I think it was $39 a head.
Okay. Yeah. He did mention that the rhino experience is like something that sells out all the time because the experience is a little bit different.
It's only once a day.
Yeah, and you're closer. You actually go to the rhino enclosure, and they bring the rhinos in there to do things very close and in person. I'm not sure that you get to touch them or anything.
They've only had one person get that's been gorged.
Only one. Just one.
Just one. So it's worth it.
In any case, okay. So on the way back, so we take the bus back and we're in the back. And now it's July 4th and they're setting up tables and everything out there because it looks like they're going to do a little barbecue for their employees or cast members, which is wonderful. Yeah. Go Disney. Yep. Yeah. Keep it good. Keep it going. Now, because we were right behind like the Lion King area, a cast member from the show came out in like full like Lion King garb, and so I'm just like mouth drops to the floor, like staring at him, like what is he doing? And then I start thinking of like there's like those pictures of people that went to the underground tunnels of Magic Kingdom, and like you see Mickey without his head smoking a cigarette and stuff like that, and I'm just like, what is this guy doing? He totally went behind the fire hydrants on the other side to like vape, and I was like, really? Okay. And I was just like kind of like laughing. I'm moving Bailey along because I don't want her to see whatever he's doing. Yeah. But like the way he was like kind of moving, you knew he was going to do something that he was not supposed to be doing.
Like he was on his way because when he came out and I saw him and I said,
I was like,
good morning. Yeah, I said good morning, and he seemed almost surprised that like we were there. He was like, tour group here.
It's gotta be hard being a cast member because there's so many tours now that like where do you go to not be in the face of everybody?
I'm sure they have a break room or something.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure they also have a price on the break room, being like, well, for $3,000 you can go into their break room and watch them get ready. Like, I'm sure, Anyways.
Interesting.
But it was
like conspiracy corner.
It definitely made me giggle. I was like, there it is. I saw it. I went backstage and I saw something happen. It wasn't anything huge, but it made me laugh.
We got the scoop.
There you go.
Kind of that the people in line for the Lion King Festival of the Lion King, they vape.
Yeah.
So that's the scoop.
Well, I mean, whatever. After doing all those acrobatics and stuff, like, how could you even, like, what are you doing, buddy? Like, you're so athletic.
So I'll start, and I'll also add to this now. Today was hot. It was a hot day.
Yeah.
And it was weird because it wasn't always even sunny out, but it was just hot. Like, I was drenched in sweat. Like, my shirt was pretty much done by the time we got going on the safari.
Yeah.
On the tour, I was already done. So it was a hot day.
It was hot, but I didn't take out any fans or anything today. There was just no moving air, and I felt like just putting it on.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't even help.
So we decided today, we did do a Genie Plus, even though we weren't rope dropping, just because we felt it would be helpful.
Yep.
And it ultimately was, even though a lot of times the ride waits for just 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But it's just giving you that little bit more of affordability, just going through the line and then getting back and, being able to do something, travel or eat or whatever, get a snack. And so we did that. It was only, I think it was it was $18 per person. So that wasn't too bad.
That's really, that's probably on the lower end. I think the lowest is 15.
Yeah.
So, that's the lower end.
So that was 18. So we ended up doing that, and our first Genie Plus was the Navi River journey. So that was our first one. So
we love that one.
Yeah, we love that. It's a cool ride. Very relaxing.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, it's so peaceful.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it's beautiful to watch. You always kind of see new things every time you go. Obviously, the big thing being the animatronic at the end is still very breathtaking, and kind of just the way it moves, and it really makes you think, why can't they have Ariel's mouth move in the undersea? Why is it that she's singing and their mouth just stays completely it's stationary? It just doesn't move whatsoever.
No, I know. It was so cute in our little back row of the ride. Our daughter, this is her favorite movie, and she's explaining the whole ride to a member in the boat that has not seen the movie and does not know about it, and it was just cute. It was adorable. I have to keep sneezing.
It's part of the thing. And that's, of course, Bailey was wearing her Navi ears and her tail, and so she was ready to go.
And I love playing into it. Like when we were at Caring for Giants, the woman kind of laughed at me because she was asking all these questions have you been over to Pandora and blah blah blah, and you're gonna go see it, and I was like, well, actually, she's returning home.
Yeah, exactly.
The lady just looked at me
oh, right, you're one of those families.
Yeah, you're a Disney person. It was pretty funny. Anyways, so we did that.
We did that, and then the second option that we decided to do, just because if there's ever, and obviously the most popular ride in Animal Kingdom, maybe top 3 in the entire Disney World parks, is Avatar: Flight of the Passage.
Yes.
So we did a lightning lane for that. And again, I think, it was worth it if you didn't want to wait in line for 60 minutes or more. Yeah. So we did that. That was the next up after that. And all the kids had a great time.
Yeah, so good.
That was it.
I can't even
I
believe
had a very interesting experience in it.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Yeah, so I have, within the last year, because I'm an old bastard. Now we'll bleep that out, kids. I've gotten progressive lenses, so I have I see far, medium, and then close up on the bottom. Even though I don't really, I don't know, whatever. For the first time, I've noticed with these 3D glasses on, and I think I was looking through the bottom of my lens, which is the bifocal part, which is the magnified part of it. It seemed like I was so much closer to everything that was going on, and it just gave this unique perspective, as if made me feel more into it.
Yeah.
And it really just, it kind of blew me away. I was just like, wow. Like, I've always been blown away, but this was like double blown away.
Really, yeah.
Like, it was like a hurricane hit, and I was just getting...
He was in it.
Yeah, exactly. There was lots of wind.
It's such a good ride.
Really is a good ride.
As I was on it, I was like, I didn't put on any motion bands or anything. So I was like super worried, but I was fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, and then I couldn't like believe after we got off both these rides, I just couldn't believe we already got them all done. You know, it was before lunch. And I was like, babe, remember the times when you used to have to like wait in this line for 3-4 hours? Like it was so long.
And then I was kind of upset at the end because we just kind of like afterwards we went to the gift shop and everyone looked at everything.
Yeah.
But then after that, we just kind of left Pandora and we never went back.
We did it, yeah.
It's like we didn't get like really to go and like look at the floating mountains up close or anything, or take pictures.
We kind of sped by it or something.
Yeah.
Something happened there. I feel like we usually spend more time there for sure.
Yeah, but it just kind of came and went.
But Bailey is now asking, how do they get the floating mountains to float? So
we have to show the YouTube video.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dive on in. And then after that, we went to.
Oh, now it's on me.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm drawing a blank again. We definitely went to a thing. There was definitely a ride, a queue. We did the Kilimanjaro safaris.
Oh, okay. Yep. Which you've got to do. So good.
Yeah, so even though yes, it was getting closer to lunchtime, and so we were thinking about doing Cali River Rapids, but travel specialist Nicole brought up a good point. She's like, do we really want to get wet and then go sit in air conditioning immediately after for an hour or so?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's probably a good point. So instead we decided to go sit in a truck and get hot for 15 minutes.
Before. Yeah. Now, usually these, the tour guides on the safaris are amazing. And not to say that our tour guide wasn't amazing. He's great. He had the facts. But he was very, like, monotone and, like, not excited about anything. And I felt like he was going very fast, too. Like, he was just, like, zoom, done with this, zoom, done with that.
Just, like, going by. And, like, there was really no stopping or anything.
Yeah.
And then it also seemed like we had caught up to the one in front of us.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was like he was trying to get out of there. Maybe it was his last tour
that day. Why am I here?
But that's what I asked the adults when we got out. I was like, did it seem like our tour guide was like just took Benadryl before our ride or something? Because he seemed tired.
Yeah. And so, but it was also like lunchtime. So most of the animals were snoozing. The giraffes were hiding in the trees, which usually they're all out and about and doing their giraffe jam thing. Mm-hmm. So definitely if you have the option, try to go a little bit earlier in the morning when they're very active or later in the day when they're active.
Again, it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah.
And,
but still good. It's always good.
Yes.
Love to see that.
I do love to see that. So then as I said, we did come to our lunch. There was a lot of debate when we were deciding our lunch where we were going to have our reservation, and we looked at basically everything.
We almost decided on Yak and Yeti, but then we looked at the kids' meals and decided against it.
Yeah, we decided against it. Like I like Tusker House, but it's
we've
it's
done it before
because it's a character dining. So I don't know.
And we wanted to just do something that we knew there was going to be something on the menu for everybody.
And so we went to the Rainforest Cafe.
We opted Rainforest Cafe. Right now, apparently, it's a really hip thing because of that YouTuber.
Yes, Mr. Beast.
They changed their speech a little bit to be like, now this is the biggest Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
And it just made me laugh. I'm like, oh boy, they're jumping on that bandwagon. Sounds good. But it didn't disappoint. It was good.
No, it was good. And
the kids got what they needed. We got what we needed.
It was exactly what we needed, just like a thunderstorm inside a chain restaurant.
Oh, yes. And the elephants inside of it move. And the table of children was like, did you see the elephant move?
Yeah,
and I'm
like, Abby, it moved. Like,
guys,
did you see it, Abby? And then she's like, yeah, I did.
And then they'd be like, no, you did it. You didn't look.
Like,
and I'd be
like, no, I'm good. You could just like, no, I'm going to tell you every time it moves. Like the little 4-year-old we were with.
It was
I'm going to tell you every time it moves.
And I was just like, listen, we just saw real elephants.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah. I don't care about this fake
I love
one.
children. Love them. For sure. But it was just kind of funny. So yes, I took some time to watch the electronic elephants move.
You had a really delicious...
I had like a Asian chicken salad kind of thing going on. It was fantastic. Exactly what I wanted. The kids, they had their pasta.
Yeah, they got
hamburgers,
some
all those
drinks
things.
with water bottles.
Yes. Now we have another souvenir water bottle to go.
I know,
I'm like,
probably definitely
where is this going?
I know. I had a fairly pedestrian chicken sandwich. I had made the comment when she was taking my order. I was like, and if you could ask them to give me extra fries, like, I was in the mood for fries.
Yes.
I wanted the salt. She's like, oh yeah, they put a lot on. I got served my meal. It was not. I know.
He looked over and he's like, this is not a lot of fries.
This is not a lot of fries.
No, but you didn't finish your fries.
I did.
You did? Oh, maybe I'm sorry.
Come on.
It looks like you didn't.
Look, who are you talking to?
Sorry, I was too focused on my Corona Rita.
I'm your husband. She was drinking a Corona Rita.
Which are never, they're never good. Like, the margarita part's good. It's just the whole, I feel like I'm cheating because I'm getting, 2 different drinks. I'm like, okay, here I go.
For the price of
1.5. No, it was fun. That's what I usually go if we go there. Just for fun.
And I ended up getting a raspberry daiquiri.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't tell if there was actually any rum in it or not. Right. But I still had 2 of them. Yeah. Either way. I was like, what? I'm enjoying it either way. And we moved along there. It does set you up. It's much like any Disney, even though it's not technically in the Animal Kingdom, it's still like a Disney restaurant in that it's attached to a gift shop.
Yes.
So they make you walk through that.
Yes.
And they got the kids. So, of course, members of our group wanted these, stuffed snakes that they had, and that we had to go back for later.
No, but that being said, this is actually a good point.
Yeah.
Even though it's attached to Disney, it did not have Disney prices. I was able to get some sandals. We were having, blister problems and stuff. Sandals for $18, which I think is pretty decent for vacation sandals. So, I mean, they weren't flip-flops. They were Teva knockoffs, pretty much. So,
for the kids. Kids.
It worked out well. And then from there, we just kept on chugging along. We went over to...
Now we went to Cali River Rapids.
Oh, that's right. And I said, not today. Thank you very much.
Abby's not a fan of getting wet unless she has to.
Yeah.
Whenever do you have to? But
I have a hysterical photo of me that I sent to our travel agents back in Connecticut of me wearing a front backpack, a backpack, carrying a Disney bag, as well as sandals and all sorts of other junk.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you decide not to go on the ride, you become a pack mule. That's your...
That's right.
That's your thing.
But Rob got some wonderful pictures of him and all the kids on the ride, and they had a great time. They love this one.
Yeah, they really do. It's still, every time I go on it, it just feels short, though. It's one of those things that it's over before, it has one big drop. It has a couple of things where it squirts or splashes water on you, but then it's you're done. And I just sometimes wish it was a little more. Wish it was a little longer.
I'm sorry.
Especially if you don't have a lightning lane and you're waiting 45 minutes for it, and it's just that.
And then it's that, and you're like,
believe me, you want it, because as you're going up the incline, it's so hot. There's no air moving, and you're please splash me. It's so hot. But we all were pretty soaked, which is good.
That's great, yeah. It's so funny to me that people, kids, they opt to go on a ride to get soaked, but if they got soaked by accident,
it
would be
a rainstorm.
Traumatic. Buying new clothes right now.
Yeah, exactly. Rain is ending everything.
Yeah. Anyways, I got the opportunity to bring Bailey on Expedition Everest for the very first time after this.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because I wasn't expecting that she wanted to go on.
Yeah.
But another kid in the party wanted to go on, and she was like, yeah, I'll do it. And she's been all about the roller coasters this year, so I was like, okay. let's do it. And we got the picture of the hands up. She was great. And she loved it.
I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that her sister didn't want to.
100%. But my favorite part was that she was on the right side. So she was on the side that when the roller coaster goes all the way up to where the broken track is, you look over and you see all the hairbands. And it happened to be kind of this time in which they hadn't cleaned the hairbands for a very long time. And there was thousands. And she had been asking me for the past hour for a hairband because she wanted to tie up her t-shirt. And she's just looking at me well, can I get one of those?
Give me.
No, we're on a ride.
You have to ask the Yeti for it.
It was really funny. It was cute. It was a cute moment. I'm so glad she went on it and she had a lot of fun.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's turned into a thrill seeker. But,
I'm here for it.
2 years ago we couldn't get her on, or 3 years ago we couldn't get her on anything. And now she's doing Tiana's Bayou and Expedition Everest, Tron.
I know.
The big hurdle will be once she gets on Tower of Terror.
Or the individual seat of Space Mountain, right?
Yeah. I feel like they'd be fine with Space Mountain.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
But then,
not this year.
Not this year. No, we're already done with that. And then after that, we all got back together again and headed over to Finding Nemo.
The Big Blue and Beyond.
And I can't even believe that it was already 4 at this point.
Yeah,
and it was
it really seemed
winding down.
That was the other thing that we kind of skipped over was that our lunch. We mentioned that the day before in Magic Kingdom, we went to be our guest, and our lunch was 2 hours.
Yeah,
and that just felt like it was very long. It was needed, I think, too. For it's hot. Obviously, it's hot. You want to get out in the sun and air conditioning, but it's 2 hours. It takes away a long time of the day.
This is actually something that I think we need to consider, is that those buffet lunches are the hour long, right? Because they're buffet. The food's already there. The servers don't have to do too much.
I feel like when we went to Tony's Town Square and all that, I feel it was like that was an hour.
Okay.
I don't know. It just feels like it's. So this lunch ended up being an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, which is long. And, so then we forgot to do a lot of things, like go to Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Yeah, or we just didn't have the time to.
And we wanted to catch, one of the art things there.
But it was after Expedition Everest, we just kind of wanted everyone to catch a show or something.
Yes, because the shows there are phenomenal.
Yeah, and so the Finding Nemo was one that we hadn't seen. Heidi was in the play Finding Nemo Jr., so we were very familiar with the songs and the stories, and because obviously it's in movies and so on and so forth. But this was put on by professional actors, actual props, and the stage and or stage direction, and it was a really good performance of it.
Wonderful, and it was just interesting too because the theater at this point is empty. Nobody's at Animal Kingdom anymore. They're all going to wherever they need to go.
This is the last show, the 4:30 show.
Yeah.
And so it was empty. We had pretty good seats in the front section,
and all the kids loved it, and I loved it. So
I loved it too. I was slowly drifting off because it's cold, it was dark, and I was comfortable.
Yeah.
So a couple times, and I've seen this play 5 times. I knew what was going to happen. I still enjoyed it though.
Yeah. So we pop out of there, and it's time to get these kids a treat.
It was, and it also had a rainstorm while we were in there.
Oh, okay.
We came out when it was wet.
And it was wet.
But we
were kind of at that point.
Yeah.
It was it's laughable now, but at that point we were like, hey, we missed the rain. Yeah. Good for us.
Nice. We made a right decision. So we had to get the kids treats. So we headed over to that stand that's just outside of Dino Land.
Yes.
To go get, the kids wanted churros. We go to get churros.
Now, you searched high and low earlier in the day for churros, and this was kind of the only place, right?
I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them in Asia anywhere because we were over by Expedition Everest. I didn't find them there, so we had walked all the way around, and then we walked through Dino Land, through, the Midway or whatever that's supposed to be. And they even took out that one there was like a trailer that serves snacks.
Yeah.
That's gone. It's Restaurantosaurus Rex or whatever the heck it's called. Doesn't have them. And so Heidi really wanted churros, so the kids wanted churros.
Yeah.
And this was really the place that we found them.
No, listen. I don't know if you guys remember last year, our churro debacle.
Yeah, where we went up and we were trying to get Heidi a churro.
Yes, because she earned it in some sort of bet.
It was like if you go on this ride, we'll buy you, like 4 churros or something.
Right, something ridiculous. And she went on the ride, and it was like, good.
Yeah.
So then we go up, and the guy in front of us gets 8 churros, and we're like, oh, that's a lot of churros. And then we go up, and they're like, sorry, that guy just bought the last of the churros.
Bought all the churros. He's like, come back in like 30 minutes, and we'll have more. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And so there's lots of emotions coming from that.
Of course. So now this time,
this was our kids had ordered. We had ordered the churros first for our 2.
Yes.
They had 1 churro each, and then travel specialist Nicole was with her kids. She goes to order the churros and says that, oh, by the way, sorry, that family over there, pointing to us, took the last 2. And then Nicole was like fake. She's like, well, I'm going to have a word with them.
I know. And of course there was emotions. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But easily fixed with ice cream and
somewhat.
like that,
after a little bit of a tantrum from the 4-year-old.
I mean,
and also
I
for
would
me.
have a tantrum too. Like, think about it in my perspective. Like, if somebody took like the last cold brew in front of me and I would sit down and have a tantrum. Are you kidding me? Like, it would be epic.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. So as we were dealing with, the messiness of ice cream on a hot summer day with young kids, the sky started opening up.
Oh, yeah.
And the big drops were coming. So everyone eat and hightailed it over to Dinosaur, since we were right by Dinoland. We had booked a ride. The kids, for some reason, have zero recollection of going on the ride.
And I do, too. I have zero recollection.
But
then when I go on it, I'm like, yeah, I remember this. I don't like this ride.
That's why I don't remember it. So, and because of the fact that we know that Indiana Jones is going to be taking its place at some point, so we said, let's get one more in.
See it. Yeah.
So everyone could forget it in a year from now anyway. We went on Dinosaur, and the reason I think people don't like it is because it's dark. It jerks you around too much in the Jeep itself. It's like very herky-jerky, and in the darkness you don't know what is actually happening. Obviously, the animatronic dinosaurs are very outdated.
Yes.
The pre-show whole thing with Felicia Rashad is outdated.
Yeah. Now listen, also there's something about it. Like, we're in this place, Animal Kingdom, and okay, well, I guess it doesn't make sense because I'm thinking about Everest too. Like, we're trying to conserve and love animals and stuff, and then all of a sudden we're going on a ride that dinosaurs are eating us. Like, why can't we show a different aspect of dinosaurs?
It was a different. But I mean, dinosaurs did eat humans.
No, I understand, but so do a
Unless
lot
you
of
don't
other
believe in
things.
dinosaurs. You're a dinosaur non-believer.
I just feel like, let's hang out with the Triceratops for a while and see what they do.
Oh boy, I feel like she's trying to turn this into an educational piece.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Anyways, so not the best ride. Skip this one.
I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay.
Listen, and like I said, there's parts of it that are just scary. Like, now, our kids who go on roller coasters and all sorts of other things, they close their eyes during this, and
some of it's scary. Just dinosaurs, even though they look fake, mostly, coming out at you and
aspect,
stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you'll be all right if you don't see that one until it turns into Indiana Jones. Then you'll probably go see it.
I'm excited.
Hopefully they make the ride smoother.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be as jerking you around to be fun.
Yeah.
It could be more than that. It could be more. Mickey and Minnie's doesn't do that, even though you're moving around and you don't feel like
smoother. It's a different track. System,
it's a different system, but there's ways to make that work. And that was the end of our day.
That was. We then had to kind of go into this rain. Monsoon weather and head home, but it was fine, and we felt like we had a great full day. We did a lot of really cool things.
We were leaving and it was after 6, so we were there,
We closed out the park.
Getting home, taking a bus and all that, and We were tired.
Our evening changed up a little bit. Oh, sorry. You still got how many?
I still got my 20,000 steps in.
Oh, good. You know, I don't have my watch on me. I'm not really sure.
A little over 8 miles, 20,000 steps.
That makes sense.
In a short amount of time. And
because, there is a lot of walking considering the safari.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big. If you go from, especially if you don't, like, if you go from Expedition Everest to Pandora, I mean, that's a long hike.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's the way it falls out.
Yeah.
That you have to do that.
Now, it rained a lot tonight, so we didn't get to go to the pool or anything. But you know what? It was apparent to us that everybody just kind of needed a break anyway. Yeah. So
especially
we just hung here. We had some bagels and stuff that the kids wanted to eat for dinner, which we're like, okay, let's do that. And fruit. And Rob and I grabbed
the $40 cheese pizza from the BoardWalk Pizza.
Which I have to say was pretty good pizza.
Yeah, pizza is good.
Florida pizza is not New York pizza, and so we sometimes put up our prissy noses about it, but it was good. The BoardWalk pizza is good.
We will scoff at a pizza.
Yes.
This
Otherwise,
worked.
Rob's yawning away.
I'm yawning away. We have a full day at Epcot tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
We're not going to be rope dropping that either because we want to get everyone some rest.
Right. We're not gonna. We're gonna try to do a good. It's just gonna be our family of 4, and so. We've got those certain rides that we absolutely must do. We're not going to be too crazy about going around the world this time. Just last time it kind of got us into a funk because the lack of shade. But we're going to do our little
anything of interest for the kids.
For the kids, because what was it? It was like the little stops didn't really interest them all that much.
So there's really no reason to do it.
Yeah, but we'll bring our pins and see if there's any good pin trading. I'm really excited about Ratatouille, surprisingly. I don't know why I'm feeling such nostalgia and excitement about this one.
I'm excited for Journey of Water with Moana.
Yes. And
I want to experience
220.
That. Yeah.
I do love Space 220, so I'm excited we're going again this year. We skipped it last, so
we got a great day ahead. We're hoping to see the fireworks then, which is part of the reason why we didn't feel like we needed to see them here. On top of the fact that we heard just about everything,
we sound like fireworks haters. We're not. We love them.
I mean,
we're just tired. Okay?
I like them, but I'm also my house was somewhat near the beach, so I saw them every 4th of July. I'm kind of over them.
I didn't really, I don't know. We don't need to go into my firework history, but growing up, that was not what my parents did. They did not do that. So I did not know for a very long time that they did fireworks every year. I know that's very embarrassing to say, but in any case, it is what it is. Anyways, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Rawr. Welcome back from Animal Kingdom. How you like that? I don't know. It was I was going elephant. I started horse in it.
I don't know what all that was.
I hope you enjoyed our Animal Kingdom day.
I hope we sounded less sick, but I think we were more sick at this point.
Yeah, but we were outside. Now, obviously, you heard because it was July 4th. You heard the
fireworks in the background.
And I think what you don't know, it was so intense.
It was so loud.
Yeah, it was so loud because it's just echoing in the corner of the balcony, the where the balconies were, where rooms were in the balconies. It was just echoing through, and it was so intense, so loud. I'm going to try to make it. Hopefully, it wasn't too loud in your ears. I'll try to make it more palatable.
It's July 4th, audible. Independence, baby.
Yes, we all remember that. Well, what was your? I think I already know the answer. What was your favorite part of the day?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Mac, the elephant. I'm telling you. So, throughout, I think I have told this on the podcast before, but when I was very small, 3 or 4, I had the opportunity to ride on an elephant. And there my obsession began.
And this was in India.
Nope.
No, this is, you were on a quest with a doctor.
Nope.
Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones. I mean, yes. We'll just say yes to
You
all
were
of this.
short round, is what you're saying. You were short round.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Right.
Or I was Jasmine. I mean, whatever.
Okay.
So the thing is, when you're so young and you like remember it, but you don't remember like the movements as well, and like the actual like feeling of like looking at this live animal. So to see that and to see how actually big their ears are, and like the veins in their ears, and the way that they interact with each other, which was so cool because their trunks were intertwining. And even on the safari, you're quickly driving by, you don't see the interactions. So to stand there for 30 minutes and experience 30 minutes in the life of an elephant was just
and even though
awesome.
And it's still, even though you're somewhat, you're about 50 yards away, something along those lines. You don't get, so you're getting up close to pet them or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, rightfully so, because these are big, huge animals. That liability of a kid getting trampled.
I don't want that.
But yeah, it's still very interesting to see them interact and kind of how they play.
It's just amazing. I loved watching them play. It was so cool. It was interesting that they were all males, and it was kind of like, well, why don't we get to see the females and the baby elephant who's out? Like we wanted to see that.
Yeah.
But we saw it on the safari. So in any case, favorite part. What was your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part was watching you during that part. That was one of Abby's. That was a special thing we did for Abby's birthday a day late.
Yeah.
Because she is a big fan of elephants.
Yes.
And so we wanted to do that. So that was seeing her face. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, I had a great time.
So that's part of those the extra magic, right? It was those things, and you can look into more on those on the website, or let us know if you have questions about what's available and what you're able to do. Like you said, Abby also booked fireworks cruise, which is considered one of the extras.
I think they're called the enchanting extras.
I think enchanting extras. You're right. It would have a magical word.
And
like
that would include things like building lightsabers and all that stuff that's under there, or doing mosaics at one of the wine places there. Yeah, that's all very cool extra stuff that you can do.
And so that was our Animal Kingdom day. That was day 3. We were winding down.
Yep.
I think, if I remember where we were on the precipice of our day at Epcot, which we came into thinking that we were going to have, we didn't know how the day could go, and it definitely went away. Yeah. And that's all I'm going to tease right now for the next episode, but you'll hear that in about a week or so, or if you decide to come back, and we hope you do.
Yep. All the things. But thanks so much for listening to our podcast, and we hope to have you back soon.
This has been a Family Travel Planner production.